welcome to the legendary Brown Note. Today we have the Hi-Fi Summit sponsoring this video. It's a quarterly digital hi-fi trade show, and I had a blast attending the first one in June earlier this year. The main folks behind the show are YouTubers Joe and Tell, Youthman, and Technodad. They had representatives from SVS, Sonus Faber, Parasound, Denon, and many more. And they were giving seminars ranging from setup and calibration to speaker manufacturers giving insight on how they actually design the products. They even had DJ Technodad spinning at the end of each day. The best part of this event had to be meeting like-minded enthusiasts and talking with them about, home theater. It was also nice getting a chance to talk to company representatives in the event video chat lobby. Early bird tickets are on sale right now for $24 and they go up to $29 in October. The event is happening on October 22nd through the 26th. I've already picked up my tickets, so hope to see you there. Links are down in the description below. Now on to today's video review, The Matrix. It's presented in Dolby Atmos, and as always, spoilers ahead. Let's jump into it. Okay, scene one is basically all the overhead effects from the thunder that happens throughout this movie. And right here at this point, and there's another point here, the timestamps, that the thunder sounds so amazing, and it just kind of makes you jump out of your seat a little bit, and the diffuseness of the sound coming from above you is just fantastic. So this scene plus the other one that I put in the timestamp, definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of thunder and sound coming from overhead. So this scene gets a 4. This next scene comes at the point where they get ambushed inside this warehouse, and they start out with these huge guns, and they sound amazing. Lots of kick to the boss platform, and they just sound very, very good. Okay, so the next part of the same scene is when they're climbing down the walls, and they're found out by the agent. And Morpheus has to basically punch through the walls. Actually, I think the agent punches through the walls first. There's some really, really good impact there. And yeah, it kind of scares you almost. A bonus right after this, after Morpheus kind of punches through the wall, is he and Agent Smith go at it. And every time they kind of hit the wall or get thrown against something, the bass is felt very impactfully. This scene gets a 4. This next scene is the infamous lobby scene, lobby shootout, and that first punch kind of gets things rolling. These gunshots, they're not particularly loud or very deep. They're not like what you hear from John Wick shootouts, but there's definitely a lot of surround happening in this scene, and certain guns carry more weight than others. Like his 2 pistols right here that Keanu Reeves has sound a lot better than some of the automatic rifles that he uses later on. But this whole scene in general, tons and tons of surround activity. There's some even creeping overhead effects, and yeah, it's a fun scene. But at the end of the day, it's not super impactful. It doesn't reach that legendary status, so this scene gets a 4. This next scene is probably one of the cooler scenes, and it is the famous bullet time scene. And just kind of thinking back on when we first saw this, and our jaws dropped, how did they do that? The sound is very, very impressive in the bullet time sequence. When he fires at Neo, the sound, you can almost feel it passing by your ears. It is very, very intense, very, very loud. The side surrounds get a lot of workout, and even there's a little bit of overhead in here as well. So right here. So just tons and tons of side surround. I think boosted those levels up really high, and it just sounds like bullets are whizzing past your head. All right, a little further into the scene, we get the chain gun, the minigun, whatever you want to call it. This thing carries some nice weight when he fires it. And it goes on for quite a bit. And so, however unrealistic this scene is, the bass from the bullets sounds very good. And from certain angles, the helicopter blades can be heard from above as well. So this part where the helicopter's flying around, you get lots of imaging from around you, from above you. So this scene ends with a nice little crash into the building, nice little LFE moment right here, and nice little explosion to kind of cap off this scene. And this like 5-minute section of the movie deserves a 5. There's just a lot of surround activity going on. There's some Atmos going on, and there's definitely some good bass moments. So definitely worth a watch right here. So final scene. It's the end of the movie, and the Sentinels are basically have made its way to the Nebuchadnezzar. So like right here, lots and lots of like overhead, metal groaning. There's some LFE moments as well. All right, so in terms of like heavy bass moments or like high SPL, this part right here at the end of the movie where he basically makes Mr. Smith explode, and he does this like weird flex thing. That's where I feel the most amount of bass, and it's a really cool moment, albeit a bit short. Right there, it's a pretty cool. You see some spikes up at like 20 hertz, and it's a nice, quick, hard-hitting LFE moment. Okay, and of course to cap off the moment, the EMP goes off, and it sounds pretty good. It's not as impressive as the flex, but it's nice. So that scene gets a 4. After averaging out the scores, we get 4.2 legendary brown notes out of 5. So there were a couple of things I want to kind of talk about in terms of the audio. The bass was used very well, but there wasn't any single moment, or there weren't a lot of moments where the bass was super intense or super high SPL. There was a lot of ultra low frequencies because my Boss platform was going off the entire time, whether it be the punches, the bullets, the thunder, it was there. So I'm really glad that there was a BassEQ track for this movie. In terms of BassEQ, the scene that I chose to kind of show and compare is this last part where he does the little flex and there's a little wobble right there. And in the BassEQ version, it sounds impressive, but as soon as you turn BassEQ off, you just lose that like low end rumble. And throughout the whole movie, actually, with BassEQ, you just get a lot more of the Boss platform engaging because the BassEQ track really lifts up that from 20 hertz on down. It really brings it back to normal. And throughout the whole movie, you can feel the difference with BassEQ. But I chose this particular scene to kind of illustrate just how the levels kind of change. And we're at a minus 2.5 with the BassEQ, so I'm at negative 12.5 master volume versus negative 10 without BassEQ. And it still has a lot more impact down low. So what did you think of the Matrix in Atmos? Did you enjoy it? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.